The Art of Saying No, Setting Boundaries for Self-Care. Title: The Art of Saying No, Setting Boundaries for Self-Care. Introduction: 100 words. In our fast-paced and demanding world, setting boundaries is crucial for our well-being. Learning to say no can be an art that empowers us to prioritize our needs and protect our mental, emotional, and physical health. Understanding the significance of setting boundaries in our lives is the first step towards practicing self-care and creating a more balanced and fulfilling existence. The importance of boundaries, 200 words. Boundaries help define the limits of what is acceptable and respectful in any given situation, whether it be personal, professional, or social. They serve as a protective shield, safeguarding our happiness and self-worth. Without boundaries, we may find ourselves overwhelmed, constantly overcommitted, and neglecting our own needs. Setting boundaries is essential in establishing healthy relationships, maintaining work-life balance, and nourishing our overall well-being. It allows us to protect our time, energy, and emotions, preventing burnout and enabling us to engage in activities that bring us joy and rejuvenation. Recognizing the need to set boundaries, 200 words. Acknowledging when we need to set boundaries is the first step towards taking control of our lives and practicing self-care. Signs that we may be lacking boundaries include feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or resentful, as well as experiencing difficulties in our relationships. Understanding that these feelings often stem from overcommitting, people-pleasing, or neglecting our own needs can help us identify areas where boundaries need to be reinforced. The Art of Saying No, 300 words. Saying no can be challenging, especially when we fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. However, it is important to recognize that saying no is not inherently selfish, rather, it is an act of self-respect and self-care. Learning to say no effectively starts with understanding our own priorities and values, and then communicating them assertively. Here are some tips for mastering the art of saying no. 1. Practice self-awareness. Reflect upon your own limitations, needs, and priorities to gain clarity on what is truly important to you. 2. Be assertive. Use clear and direct language when expressing your boundaries, focusing on your needs rather than making excuses. For example, say, "I'm unable to take on additional tasks right now because I need to prioritize my own workload." 3. Set realistic expectations. It's crucial to manage expectations and not overpromise or overextend yourself. Be honest about what you can realistically handle. 4. Suggest alternatives. If possible, offer alternative solutions, such as recommending someone else who may be able to assist, or proposing a timeframe that aligns better with your availability. 5. Practice self-compassion. Remember that it is okay to prioritize yourself and your well-being. Saying no allows you to say yes to what truly matters to you. Implementing boundaries in various aspects of life, 400 words. Setting boundaries is not limited to just one area of life, it is essential across personal, professional, and social realms. Let's explore how boundaries can be implemented in these areas. 1. Personal boundaries. A. Time. Allocate dedicated time for self-care activities and don't allow yourself to be constantly available. B. Physical. Respect personal space and communicate your comfort levels with physical touch. C. Emotional. Protect your emotional well-being by being mindful of toxic or draining relationships. D. Values and beliefs. Communicate and establish limits when it comes to discussions or activities that challenge your values. 2. Professional boundaries. A. Workload. Clearly communicate your capacity and learn to delegate or negotiate tasks when necessary. B. Working hours. Set clear boundaries between work and personal life, ensuring you have time for rest and relaxation. C. Say no to excessive overtime or tasks that are beyond your job description. 3. Social boundaries. A. Social obligations. Learn to decline invitations gracefully when you need time for yourself or have other commitments. B. Emotional support. Be mindful of your own well-being and establish limits on responsibilities and expectations from others. C. Personal information. Maintain privacy by sharing personal details only with trusted individuals. Setting boundaries in our lives is essential for our well-being. Learning to say no is like mastering an art that empowers us to prioritize our needs and protect our mental, emotional, and physical health. Boundaries play a crucial role in defining what is acceptable and respectful in any situation, be it personal, professional, or social. They act as a shield, safeguarding our happiness and self-worth, preventing burnout and allowing us to engage in activities that bring us joy and rejuvenation. Recognizing the need to set boundaries is the first step towards taking control of our lives and practicing self-care. Signs that we may be lacking boundaries include feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or resentful, as well as experiencing difficulties in our relationships. By understanding these feelings stem from overcommitting, people-pleasing, or neglecting our own needs, we can identify areas where boundaries need reinforcement. Saying no can be challenging, as we often fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. However, it's important to recognize that saying no is an act of self-respect and self-care, not self-ishness. To master the art of saying no, we must first understand our own priorities and values. By practicing self-awareness, we can gain clarity on what is truly important to us. When expressing our boundaries, it is important to be assertive and use clear and direct language. By focusing on our needs rather than making excuses, we can effectively communicate our boundaries. It's crucial to manage expectations and set realistic limits, being honest about what we can realistically handle. If possible, we can suggest alternatives, such as recommending someone else who may be able to assist or proposing a time frame that aligns better with our availability. Implementing boundaries is vital in various aspects of life, including personal, professional, and social spheres. On a personal level, we can establish boundaries concerning time, physical space, emotional well-being, and values and beliefs. In our professional lives, we can communicate workload limits, set clear boundaries between work and personal life, and say no to excessive overtime or tasks beyond our job description. In social settings, it's important to learn to decline invitations gracefully, establish boundaries on emotional support, and maintain privacy regarding personal info. Affirmation. Setting boundaries allows us to establish healthy relationships, maintain work-life balance, and nourish our overall well-being. It enables us to protect our time, energy, and emotions, preventing burnout and enabling us to engage in activities that bring us joy and rejuvenation. Boundaries are not limited to just one area of life, they are essential across personal, professional, and social LMS. In our personal lives, we can set boundaries regarding time, physical space, emotional well-being, and values and beliefs. Allocating dedicated time for self-care activities and not constantly being available helps us prioritize our own needs. Respecting personal space and communicating our comfort levels with physical touch helps establish healthy boundaries. We must also be mindful of toxic or draining relationships and protect our emotional well-being. Communicating and establishing limits when it comes to discussions or activities that challenge our values is also important.